Right, against my better judgment, I'm gonna make one of those annoying car videos. First time ever, so please give me some slack. But just thinking about something because I got off a podcast with Michael Kurkowski, the Strength Connection podcast, just a couple of hours ago, and one of the things we were talking about is my disdain for minimalism. And not because the idea in and of itself is so terrible, but because usually what most people define as minimalism is really more of what I would say reductionism, just trying to get away with doing as absolutely little as possible. And part of that philosophy is like this obsession over only doing the minimal effective dose, which in the episode I liken to saying like, okay, well, I'm only gonna drive 25 miles an hour because if I do that, I can still get to my my destination, and so why go any faster? You know, the reality is that a lot of people deal with suboptimal situations in terms of the amount of time they have to train, maybe the injuries or tweaks or other physical issues they have to work around, and a whole litany of other things. And it doesn't make any sense to add on to that yet another problem, like, you know, a focus on doing as little as absolutely possible. So if you have adequate equipment, you have adequate time, you have adequate recovery capacity, all sorts of other things, then you shouldn't be limiting yourself on which equipment you're going to use, you know, how many reps you're going to do and that sort of a thing, other than for maybe like a short period of time, and that's about it. It's like, imagine, for instance, that you have the ability to work more hours at a job, make more money, and live more comfortably, and instead, just to prove a point, you choose to live like a pauper, not work enough, barely have enough money to get by, just so you can say, aha, look at how good I am at budgeting. Well, it'd be a lot easier to budget if you didn't have to have all sorts of complicated tricks and shortcuts that you could use in order to avoid going into the red. So, bottom line, I think that your main focus in your training should be doing what is right for your goals and not orienting your programming around a methodology such that you're automatically required to do less or achieve less in order to follow it. Again, the better thing to do, figure out what your goal is, figure out what it's going to take to get there, and to the best of your ability, make any adjustments necessary based on the amount of time that you have to train, the amount of recovery capacity that you can manage, the number of sessions you can train per week, what kind of equipment you've got. But don't artificially limit yourself just so that you can brag about having gotten to your destination at 25 miles an hour. So ruminate on this, think very carefully before you obsess over minimalism, and have fun and happy training.